Hello world, it's Curtis Potter with Boundless Inspiration. This is a story that I love telling, and I just love that I was born with this, right? So you ask, who are the best salesmen? By far, best salesmen are kids. You say, no, you can't have that. Please, please, please. No, please, please, please. Like, if they really want something, I mean, they'll even get to, some kids will just throw a fit on the ground. I've seen it at stores. They're kicking and screaming, right? Unless they have a really good parent who is intentional, consistent, and persistent about not letting that happen. So I think about this story because I was putting on the resume and the bio and so forth for the business consulting company that I'm partnered with, Changing Places Consulting Group. And on the part where we were talking about my sales experience, I often will put, like for instance, right now I'm 36 years old, so I'll put 32 years sales experience. And they'll look at me and they'll, a lot of times, even like when I put it on jobs, when I was applying for sales jobs, I'd put that. And you could see them, they're like, 25 years sales experience. How old are you? Are you like, I don't know that name of that movie, but the guy looks way younger than he is. Like, how old are you? And I'm like, oh, well, like for instance, right now I'd put 32 years sales experience, but I'm 36. And they're like, how does that make sense? And let me tell you. So when I was 4 years old, my mom had bought one of these bubblegum ball machines. So you put a penny in, you get a little tiny piece of gum, right? So me, I was always a worker. I was always earning money. Like my mom allowed me to do that at a young age. So I've got my piggy bank with my pennies and so forth. And she would say, hey, you guys, I'll give you one piece of gum a day. But if you want any more, you got to use it out of your own money. She's teaching us that discipline. Like, what's 10 cents to her a day? It's nothing, but it's about teaching those principles. So I'm buying this gum with my piggy bank all the time, and I'm outside playing with my friends, and they're always like, hey, can I have a piece of gum? Hey, can I have a piece of gum? Hey, can I have a piece of gum? And I'm always, I'm a giver, so I'm like, sure, right? Well, then after a couple days, I'm like, bruh, I'm using my own money. Like, go get your own money, man. And they're like, okay, yeah, I will. So they run down to their house, they come back, and they hand me some money. And I'm like, they're like, how much is it? And see, in my head, I put this together, as a 4-year-old, I'm like, the quarters. Because in my head, I'm like, if they don't understand the value of money, then what do they care if they hand you a quarter or a penny? Because they don't know. They don't care. They just want a piece of gum. And see, the value, one lesson is, the value of something is only what someone else is willing to pay for it. That's why you could sell, some vehicles went for way more than they're worth as we are coming through this COVID recession bullcrap. Homes, people are paying way more than they're worth. And it might get them into some trouble, but it was those types of people who were just not valuing it, or they overvalued something in comparison to somebody else, right? So I'm like, all right, quarters. They're like, get me 4 pieces. And I'm like, I went inside and I went to put it in the gumball machine. I'm like, wait a minute, nope. Instead, I ran to my piggy bank. I put in the dollar for the 4 pieces. I got out 4 pennies, so I made 96 cents, right? Like a 96% increase. What kind of return can you give that for your money? Got their gum, took it back to them, and then instantly I was like, I just made $1? I just made $1. Like I just made $1. I just made $1. Like on Little Rascals, hey. So then I'm like, all right, this is my hustle. So I'm hustling gum. I'm outside. I'm intentionally blowing bubbles like, hey, see my gum? You want to buy some gum, right? And I'm hustling this gum. Well, then my mom goes to fill the gumball machine, and she realized, like, 1, the gum's going really fast. 2, when she opened it, it was all pennies. So she used to go to Kroger. You know, they have all those bins they used to have, and I don't still maybe do, where you could scoop out the different candies and stuff. That's where she would get it from. And she went and bought it, you know, like it's maybe just like a fluke, whatever, you know, didn't really think nothing of it. But then she had to go get more gum again, you know, probably within a month, maybe sooner. And she's like, wait a minute, it's like all pennies. There's probably, you know, before, because the kids and us, you know, we were putting in the silver, she might have even made 30, 40, 50 cents when she bought gum, but now she took a loss. So she's like, all right, something's going on. I'm going to watch and see what it is. And she started watching me. And she's like, man, I'm so proud of my son. He's out here hustling this bubblegum ball machine. But it was getting into her pocket. So she's like, I've got to train him. I've got to teach him another lesson. So on my 5th birthday, she comes to me and she says, hey, I've been watching what you've been doing with this gum. And I'm proud of you, but I'm about to tax you, like the government. Like, I'm about to tax you. She said, now, every time I go get gum, you've got to give me $1. And I'm 5. I'm like, what? This is my birthday present? I'm 5. You're taking my $1? Like, that's a whole $1. So I'm like, man, I've got to figure out something else to get my $1 back. But I didn't know. You know, in life, when you're manifesting things and you're speaking out, I want this, I'm going to have this, I'm going to have this, I'm going to have this. I was like, I'm going to get my $1 back. Universe, God, show me how I can get my $1 back. Bring me more clients, something. I don't know. I was 5. I didn't know how to figure it out. In life, in business, you just go. Like, go with your instinct. I'm going. The universe is going to give it to me. God's going to give it to me. Show me. Put the people around me, right? So I'm sitting there, and I was always into rocks. I was always collecting rocks. I thought they were neat. You know, a lot of them were shiny. I'd shine them up because I'm just a kid with a rock collection. I'd get the really neat ones I saw in driveways and so forth. I'd shine them up. And one day I was just shining my rocks, and a buddy came by, you know, 5 years. He's like, oh, that's a really cool rock, man. Man, I want that rock. And I was like, I'll sell it to you for $1. Really? I really want that. I got $1 in my piggy bank. I'll go get it. I was like, cool, go get it, man. He came back. He's like, I got $3. Can I buy 3 of them? Yes, you can. And I'm like, what? I just got this rock for free. I didn't even have to pay a penny for it, like the gum. And you're buying it for $1? 100% markup? Bet. You already know what I was doing. I'm walking the neighborhood like, Yep. Driveway. I'm scanning for them. Like, where are these rocks? Bring me these rocks that I can sell, right? So then later on, you know, I hustled this until really I moved. We moved out to area, and then I had to restructure my hustle. But my mom came to me and she said, you know, the funniest thing about watching that was some of your friends' moms would come to me and say, does your son have this crazy rock collection as well? And my mom's like, yeah, why? She goes, cause man, these kids, they just keep bringing all these rocks. There'll be piles of rocks on their dresser. And I'm like cleaning the room, and I'm like, I take the rocks and I throw them back into the driveway. Like, dude, leave them out there. My mom said it was so funny because she said, you would go to their house, you know, you're walking all these driveways. She's like, I am willing to bet you sold them kids the same rocks multiple times, right? And so you're like, Curtis, why are you telling me this story? Why are you telling me this story? Because what do you know? A lot of the jobs and career and the things that I'm involved in life come from sales that was naturally given to me by God, by the universe, by my maker. Whatever you believe in, who made you, big bang, hey, you're good at this. Okay, you know what? I'm not here to say that, whatever happened, but whatever you believe, you have those traits and skills inside of you that you, one, are probably not only good at, but you enjoy doing. So why are you doing something that you hate? Why are you doing something that doesn't bring you joy? And even if it's not like, hey, you know, there's some sales jobs where I'm like, nope, no thank you. But how can I leverage that trait or that skill that I have in my life to elevate my life in whatever I'm trying to do? How can you utilize that skill set that you have to elevate? Yeah, I've got to learn to really mesh in together what I'm trying to do in life and actually become boundless, because you're not just given, hey, here's Jesus, you're great at everything, right? Hey, you're not a robot, you're perfect, you're great at everything. You do have to be intentional about elevating other skills that are not your strengths. But today I just invite you, what are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? How can you leverage your strengths and improve your weaknesses so that you can live the exact life and the exact career, the relationships, where you live, what you drive, what you do for fun, your time freedom, your financial freedom? How can you leverage all of that and be real enough to look yourself in the mirror about the things that you need to work on so you truly can live a boundless life? You know the drill. Like, share, comment, tag. Put in the comment section an area where you realized your strengths and how you utilized it to elevate your life to where you're living the life that you love. So that way others can see not only what I'm doing, but others, so we all just remember we're not perfect. We can have flaws. It's okay. It's okay to not be okay. It's just not okay to stay okay. Every single day, we're working together to being boundless. I love you all. Have a great day.